Okay, these are your notes for Algebra 2, Section 1.3. So if you notice, I'm on my website. Scroll down, click on 1.3 notes document, pull it up, and we're going to write an algebraic expression to represent each verbal expression. So we've got 4 there. So let me blow this up. It's a little too small. There we go. Alright, so get my pencil going here. Then, so 2 more. Erase that. Okay. Alright, so 2 more than the quotient of a number in 5. So quotient means to divide, so a number in 5. So we're going to divide it n divided by 5. And then 2 more. So plus 2. So quotient 2 more than the quotient of a number in 5. Number 2, the sum of 2 consecutive integers. Sum means to add, so we're going to add 2 numbers that are back-to-back, consecutive, like back-to-back. So one number right after another, like 3, 4, or 7, 8. So we're going to pick a variable for the first integer, say x, so that would be 7. And then so like, how are we going to represent 8? Well, we're going to take the same 7 or the same x, and we're going to add 1 to it. Alright, x and then x plus 1. Number 3, 5 times the sum of a number and 1. So 5 times, what are we timesing by 5? The sum of a number and 1. So that becomes x plus 1. Alright? And then we're going to times that whole thing by 5. Alright? To mind my handwriting, I'm writing with the stylus here on the mouse. I'm waiting for my pen mouse to show up. Number 4, 1 less than twice the square of a number. So 1 less, so we're going to subtract. What are we subtracting? Twice the square of a number. So I've got twice, 2 times, right, the square of a number, so that's x squared, right, and then 1 less. So I'm going to subtract 1. So 1 less. And then you have to do the twice square of the number first. Alright, so scroll down. Clear off my page. Okay, now we're going to write a verbal expression to represent each equation. So 5 minus 2x equals 4. We could say 2 times a number less than 5 is the same as 4. So we got 2 times a number less than 5. Go slow, I know. Less than 5 is, because is means equals, 4. Okay. Number 6, 3y equals 4y cubed. We could say 3 times a number. So 3 times a number. This is hard to write with this. 3 times a number is 4 times the number cubed. 4 times a number cubed. There we go. Good enough. All right, two more. Number 7, 3c equals 2 parentheses c minus 1. 3 times the number equals the product of 2 and the difference of the number and 1. It's a mouthful, I know. So here we go. 3 times the number is the product of let's see, 7. So 3 times the number equals the product of 2 and the difference. Product of 2 difference difference of a number and 1. Difference of a number and 1. Okay, number 8. The quotient, m and 5, the quotient of m and 5 equals 3 times the sum of twice a number and 1. So, the quotient, Q-U-O-T. So, the quotient of m and 5 equals 3 times the sum of twice a number and 1. There you go. It's hard to read. The quotient of m and 5 equals 3 times the sum of twice the number and 1. There we go. Alright. Move down to the next ones. I'm just going to solve these equations. This should be a lot easier. So erase my board. Whoop. Okay. I'm just going to solve. So we got 14 equals 8 minus 6r, so we want to subtract 8 from both sides, right? Because we have the equal sign going straight down to the middle, right? Separating the two. So if I subtract 8 from both sides, those cancel out, and I get a minus 6r. And then 14 minus 8 is 6. Divide both sides by negative 6. And I get r is equal to -1. Alright. Okay, next one. Let's subtract. Let me draw the line straight down to the equal sign. So I get -9. We're going to subtract 9 from both sides. Alright. So those are going to cancel. And I get 4n is equal to -59 minus 9 is 68, -68. Divide both sides by 4. And I get n is equal to -17. There we go. Alright, next one's fractions. You're going to love these. Common denominators. Woohoo! Alright. So there's the equal sign. So we want to get rid of the 3/4. So let's subtract 3/4 from both sides. So I'm going to put it right here. So I can get some room. Alright, so the 3/4 cancel. Okay, so I'm left with a -1/2 n is equal to, now I gotta subtract 5/8 from 3/4. Well, we want a common denominator, so let's keep the 8. Now I gotta change 3/4 into 8s. So if I want to change this to an 8, the 4, what did I multiply 4 by to get 8? 4 times 2 is 8. So I got to multiply the top times 2, 3 times 2, and get 6. So I got to get 6 8ths. Okay, now I can multiply straight across the top, or add, or subtract straight across the top. So I get -1/2 n is equal to 5 minus 6 is a -1/8. Okay. Now to get rid of the 1/2. Okay. Get rid of the 1/2. I have to multiply by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal is going to be 2/1 negative. So that when I multiply these two together, they cancel out. But then I got to multiply this side by a -2/1. Right? And so these cancel out, and I'm left with n is equal to 1/8 negative times -2/1 is going to be a +2/8 or a +1/4. Okay, so I reduced my fractions. Okay, number 12. I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. Alright, those cancel. And I get a -1.6 r is equal to -7.8 minus 5 is a -12.8. And when I divide both, sides by 1.6, those cancel, and I get r is equal to 8. It's a negative. So 8. Okay, r equals 8. Alright, let me scroll down the page so I can get the other ones. Wipe the board clean. Magic. Alright. Here we go. Next one. 13. Alright. We do 13? Yeah. So draw a line straight down through the middle. So we got x's on both sides, so we need to combine our like terms. I always like to move the smaller of the x's, so if you'll see that the negative 9 is the smaller of the two, so let's add 9x to both sides. Alright, and those will cancel. And then 9 plus 6 is, 9 and 6 is 15. So I have 15 x minus 5 equal to 7. So let's add 5 to both sides. And then my 5's are going to cancel. And I get 15x is equal to 7 plus 5 is 12. Alright, divide both sides by 15. Alright, my 15's cancel. And I get x is equal to 12 over 15, but we have to reduce our fraction, so 3 goes into 12 4 times, and 3 goes into 15 5 times. So there we go, 4/5. Alright, 14. We're going to have to distribute 3 times 2y, 3 times 1. Draw the equals in the river there. So I get a negative 6y minus 3. And I still have my 6y minus 5 equals. Alright, so look at the 6y's. Which one's the smaller? The negative. So let's move it. So let's add 6y to both sides so that we don't have any negatives. So those are going to cancel. 6 plus 6 is, very good, it's 12. Y minus 5 is equal to negative 3. So we're going to add 5 to both sides. Middle. So my 5's are going to cancel. I get 12y is equal to 2. Divide both sides by 12. Y is equal to, now if you notice, 2 over 12 are both even numbers, so 2 goes into itself once, and 2 times 6 is 12. Alright. Okay. Scroll down the paper. Ready for the formulas. Erase my board. Okay. Now we have to solve each equation for the specified variable. So let's highlight the specified variable. I have to solve for m. So there's m. Okay. So if that's m, I have to solve for it. So that means I have to get it by itself. So I have to get rid of that. So m is being multiplied by c squared, so let's divide both sides by c squared. Because it's the opposite, we have to do the opposite. And those cancel, and I get m is equal to e over c squared. Done. Next one. 16. We have to solve for d. Oh, there's d right there. So I have to get rid of everything else. So let's get rid of the 3 first. Alright. So let's multiply both sides by 3. So I'm going to multiply this side by 3. I'm going to multiply this side by 3. And then my 3's will cancel, and so I get 3c is equal to 2d plus 1. Alright, well, I still have my d. It's still there. Okay, so now the fraction's gone away, so let's subtract 1 from both sides. And I get 3c plus 1 is equal to 2d. So one more step, divide everything by 2, and we're finished. Those cancel. So I get, draw a little arrow over here, so I get 3c plus 1 over 2 is equal to d. There we go. Alright. Let me wipe my board so I can scroll down. Is that what I want? Okay. It's alright, here we go. 17. Let's solve for v. There it is right there. So, v times t. So let's divide both sides by t. My t's cancel, and I get h over t is equal to v. Done. Alright. Next one. There we go. Scroll up a little bit. Alright, we want to solve for I. Ooh, where's that? Solve for I right there. Okay, so that's what we're solving for. So, we've got options. Let's get rid of this u first. So let's subtract u from both sides. Because there's the equal sign. So I have e minus u is equal to 1/2 I w squared. Alright. Next we want to do is let's get rid of our fraction. So let's multiply everything by 2. We'll multiply this by 2, then I have to multiply all this by 2. Alright. So my 1/2 and my 2 cancel. So I'm going to get 2 times e, or 2e, minus 2 times u, or 2u, distributive property there, equals L w squared. So now to get rid of the w squared, I just have to divide by w squared. And those cancel, and I have L by itself. So over here, I will write the answer. So I have 2e minus 2u is equal to L, and it's all over w squared. Ta-da! Alright. 2 more word problems. So ready? Let's erase that. So I can scroll down and get these last 2 word problems. Alright, geometry. The length of a rectangle is twice the width. Find the width if the perimeter is 60 centimeters. Explain your process. So we have a rectangle. Alright. Says the length is twice the width. Well, I don't know anything about the width, so there's my width, but I know the length is twice that, so 2w. Right? Well, it's a rectangle, so if the left side is w, the right side is w. If the bottom is 2w, the top is 2w, right? And perimeter means you add up all the sides. So if I add up all the sides, I'm going to add up the top, 2w, plus the bottom, which is 2W, just so they look the same, plus the left side, plus the right side, and it's equal to 60, like they said. So let's add up all the W's. 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1, so that's 4, 5, 6. So I have 6W is equal to 60. Divide both sides by 6. And I get W is equal to 10. So the length of the width is 10, and that means the width is 10, the length is 20. Alright? And I explained my process as I was going on, so okay. Let me wipe that clean so I can scroll down to number 20. And the last one. Okay. So it says Luis, 1, plus 3 of his friends, so we've got 4 people playing golf, right? 2 of the friends rented clubs. The other 2 didn't. Okay, so what's the total cost of the green fees for each person? Okay, if the total cost for clubs was $6 and the total cost was 76. So total cost for all of them to play golf was 76. So I have person 1 plus person 2 plus person 3 plus person 4 is equal to $76. Right? So those numbers represent people. Alright? So what letter can we use to represent green fees? How about G? Alright? So the first person paid for green fees, nothing else. The second person paid for green fees, nothing else. But the last 2 people didn't have clubs, so they had to rent clubs, so they paid for their green fees, which is G, but then they also had to pay an extra $6 for clubs. So green fee plus 6 equals $76. Alright, so let's add up all the G's. How many G's did you see? Well, I see 1, 2, 3, I see 4. So we have 4 G's. Alright, now let's see. We also have 6 plus 6, which is 12. So those $12 in green club rentals. Now it looks like a math problem that we've seen before, so now let's subtract 12 from both sides. Alright, those cancel, and I get 4G is equal to 64. Divide both sides by 4. And the green fees are $16. Okay. Ta-da! Those are the notes. If you bother to pay attention, it's all right here.